Good evening. It is Tuesday night. We got one more week to suffer through. And as you can see, I'm dressed in all black, preparing for next Monday like it's our Super Bowl. Got my black sick hat on, got my black Indianapolis Colts t shirt on. It's time for a change. Yep, it's going to be that type of show. So grab a drink. I got that check and anything else you might need. Sammy, start me up.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. And Bill Show.
Over the intercepted! Marlon Jackson! Marlon's got it! We're going to the Super Bowl! We're going to the Super Bowl! Marlon Jackson with the interception! He picked off Tom Brady!
The sickest Indianapolis Colts podcast. It's gonna be sick.
All right. Yes, sir. It's going to be sick. Chris, I think we got bills to pay still. Would you like to handle that, sir?
Yep, gotcha. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, makes every playoff moment feel bigger. DraftKings has your back with early exit protection. So if those guys get hurt that you have on that parlay, first half or whatever it may be, I believe, then that your bet is still live, you're still good. They'll go ahead and make sure that you're fine. But like I said, you'll be able to read that on the DraftKings app. So once again, if the player in your eligible NFL prop bet goes down at any point in the first half, you still get paid in cash, which is a great thing. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 6sports. That's SICKSPORTS. That's code 6sports, all caps, no spaces, to turn $5 into 300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
All right. And now. That is the official sound of the anvil. We are live, and I cannot be more excited to say we only got one more week left to do with this. I know I'm a little early, but I'm dressed in all black. It's time to bring the mortuary services out. A funeral is to be had. We have to start fresh. We got to bury this, and I just can't take it no more. So, welcome all. How are you guys feeling after another loss? As a matter of fact, let me let y'all speak to somebody because, man, I'm actually so glad that this whole thing is over. So here we go.
Uh-oh. Shoot. Oh, my gosh. Shoot. That gun aggravates the stew out of me. Jeez.
Yes. Philip, we are done with you, my guy. First off, let us thank you in all of the ways. Look here, man, for a 44-year-old guy who came off the couch, hasn't touched a football in an active NFL setting in 5 seasons, you did all that you could, bro. And that's not even an indictment on you. That was not a parting shot or anything like that. But for this franchise to think that pulling that type of card out of the magic hat would be some type of, I don't know, positive thing for our franchise and we can still do it, you guys wasn't serious. And so I just can't take it anymore. I'm just over it all. So we appreciate you, Phil, dadgummit, and golly, and all the other things. But go back to Alabama, coach them boys up to a state title next year.
You had to bring the golly out.
Hey, man, it's time, bro. What's up, Ricky? What's up, Sean? Look, man, I don't know, Pat. You were at the game. You were at the game on Sunday. What was the atmosphere like from the tailgate to the stadium? What was it like?
Well, the tailgate was absolutely just dead.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do say. But when you went into the stadium,
Yeah, you do say.
you've seen empty seats, but it wasn't, half full. It wasn't a quarter full. It was damn near full.
Oh, a lot of people came out.
Yes, they just didn't tailgate. Maybe it was the cold. maybe it was the rain that was saying that was coming in. I don't know, but the stadium was pretty full. You know, a lot of Jag fans running around, but we're used to that. Yeah, and the atmosphere, nobody gave up. Everybody cheered all the way to the end.
Yep. Well, that's good. I mean, we want to see that for what it's worth. But I think
I seen one person with a brown bag on his head.
One person with a brown
bag.
One
person.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, man, I don't want our fan base to absolutely turn into, the Browns or the Saints or things that we have seen that are memorable NFL memories. But you know what? I mean, this is an epic collapse at its all-time high. Like, I mean, this is noteworthy for top tier collapses in all sports, bro. And it's just like, first off, we needed Saturday to go our way, and it didn't. And that made us now 0-18 in things that could have went the Colts' way to give us better odds, not including our own failures to do our part in this. But I'm just saying, we are 0-18 with the NFL or teams trying to help us. And it just wasn't meant to be. I don't know exactly when you want to tie a bow on this season and say this is where it went array right here at this exact moment, because we know Daniel was playing a few weeks with a hurt fibula and all that other stuff. But I just don't know, man. This is epic. And this one, honestly, it doesn't even hurt like that. I just want it over with. Like I just want it over with. Like that's kind of where I am with this. I just want it over with. And there has to be a massive restart, is in my viewpoint. But Chris, where are you at on this thing?
If there was ever a time to blow things up, I think it's now. And I'm not saying that you have to, and the thing is, because I've been on, if you don't hear the spaces and everything, I say I don't believe that this team is a team that utterly 100% from the ground up needs to rebuild. Because like I said, I do feel like there's a good enough framework from a team personnel perspective in terms of the roster. But in terms of like who we have, like I said, it's just like I like the guy. He's a good dude. He's not terrible. But the thing is, as the GM, Chris Ballard, he's overstayed his welcome at this point.
Well, here's the deal. No, because it's not even that. See, that's the part I don't like about this. We are absolutely putting everybody's hands together. We're playing Ring Around the Roses. We're not just going to point this finger at Chris Ballard. Shane Steichen, you grab his hand. Let's make a little circle. Put Ed Dodds in there. Put what's the old boy name? The other scout guy. His name Malachi. What's his name?
He got fired already.
Morocco Brown's gone.
He's been Brown.
Is he?
Yeah, gone? He was the head scout.
Yes.
Yeah. All of them, let's play Ring Around the Roses, and everybody's out of here. Duck, duck, goose, whatever we're doing, everybody's going together.
And that's
everybody's
fine.
Going
together. And that's fine. But the thing is, once again, this is that top down. Like if I'm looking at anything, we can go ahead and say that Carly is safe, and maybe about 80% of maybe 70 to 80% of the roster is safe. But as far as the actual team goes, I don't like I said, Ballard, Dodds, we appreciate you guys. You guys were fantastic.
Get them out of
Goodbye.
Here.
Like it's just like with Shane, I'd be okay with him going. If they say, you know what, Shane, we're gonna keep you around one more year, you're gonna have to relinquish play calling. Even then, I'm just like, okay, but still, like if he's gone, cool. But like the way that things are. Because the way that things are structured right now, even if you go and you decide that you're going to do it, because if you get rid of the GM, then at that point, the GM is going to decide whether or not they're going to keep Shane around anyway. And I'm pretty sure that even if they decided to keep him around, they're going to say, okay, here's some things that need to change in order for us to believe that you should go ahead and even have this much leeway. I have a feeling it's going to be a much tougher discussion to discuss with Shane, whether or not he's fired, than it would be with Chris, because at this point, I mean, it's like the proof is in the pudding. It's another season where everything collapses after injury, and that once again we are in the same spot. We have athletic demons that can't play a whole season.
True that. True that. Go ahead, Pat, before I go.
Well, I got to ask some questions.
Well, wait. Before you ask questions, just let me get this point out because that's going to
Okay.
take us somewhere else. But all I was going to
No,
say,
no, it's staying with what you guys are talking about. But go ahead.
okay, all I just want to say is like I would rather fire than bring in because there's no point in having a lame duck. To your point, there's no point in Shane Steichen giving up play calling to then be the head coach because that's not it. That's not who he is. You hired him to be a play caller. The problem is he's not a head coach, so he's got to get the hell out of here. I've never known of a time where a head coach has been demoted to OC and then they brought in another head coach. Like I've never seen that before. Maybe this could be the first time ever. I highly doubt it. But I've never seen the head coach who's been the head coach for 3 years. Yeah, we're going to demote you to OC and then bring in another guy. Like, yeah, it just never doesn't work out like that. So I definitely don't want Shane Steichen without the ability to call plays because that's what his thing is. I just don't want him operating my entire team. So you have to go away, sir. But anyway, to your point, Pat, go ahead.
All right. Well, with the Steichen firing, I can actually get behind that one because we've seen, especially this year, him not changing things the way he should as the game goes on. You know, he wanted to stick with the 32 dive, with the 31 dive, instead of, you know, pulling Quentin to the outside and getting Jonathan some help to the outside to get some more yards. I mean, I'm not that damn smart. And I would have changed up because Jonathan's been getting crushed in the center of the field.
It's a wild.
And he's not changing that out. So what tells me that he's going to change that? I don't know. So I can stand behind that more than I can stand behind firing Chris Ballard. Because not because he's my daddy, and y'all know he is, but because I look at the GM's job differently. I look at the GM's job is to find the talent, manage the budget.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
But the talent hasn't been found.
So we don't have no talent on our team.
No, see that's what I'm saying.
You have to see it this way because it's the only way it is.
No. See, that's half and half. We got to be fair here. For the talent that he has found, we're going to give him credit. But to the talent he has not brought in, we're also going to indict him on that. Like, bro, there's zero depth at pretty much every position on this squad. Zero. And I'm not just talking about the quarterback position because, of course, we know that's the one that drives everything, bro. But you can't tell me.
And I'm sorry, you have to have depth there too.
But you can't tell me that something happens to Zaire and something happens to Pratt and they already are kind of roughshod. There's nothing behind that. We've seen the cornerback suffer this year because there's truly nothing there. Like there's damn sure what we thought in the middle when it comes to, you know, defensive rotation, that ain't there. Like, look, man, it's rough. I give Chris the O-line. He's solid there. Everything else is rough, bro.
And Pat,
I just disagree with that. I think we got a very talented team. Now, your point to our backups, you know, our second, third string, not being the quality they should be, absolutely. We've seen it with every injury that our backups cannot hold the line. But to me, that's coaching.
Talent finds a way to win, even in dire situations.
And Pat, I know Chris Ballard is your daddy. Still a strange thing to say, but I mean, if we're being completely real, like you can 100% find talent, right? But the issue is going to always be that you're finding this talent. How is that talent able to translate, no matter what it is? Because we've had examples of players that he's drafted, players that he's acquired through, you know, signing guys off of practice squads and going through the draft, because we know that when it comes to free agency, he barely ever goes in there unless it's somebody who's like a day 3, day 4 guy that he's just getting that's supposed to be a depth guy. But we all know that depth with Chris Ballard mean that you're going to be an eventual starter. And then even with that, like Look at the D line right now. Mind you, like I said, Clyde gave the O-line his props, and I'll give the O-line his props as well. Chris Ballard does O-line the way that I haven't seen anybody else do O-line, and that's fantastic. But go to the opposite side. That D line right now, the only reliable person you have on there, or the only reliable people, is DeForest Buckner and Latu. And out of those two players, Latu's the only one that he actually drafted. Kwity Paye is on the first train smoking about it here. I mean, Grove is just like he's serviceable, but when Buck's been out, he's not even somebody that you can go ahead and just rely on in that manner. And then when you go to every level, we're not seeing the return on investment for him to be 9 years in to say that he absolutely is doing what he's doing to make sure that the talent that's being acquired is competitive talent. They're talented because that's who they are. They're able to do those things that they do pretty well. They're in the NFL, but the problem is that it's not translating to a competitive product. See, because even after everything is said and done, we're still
straight up coaching.
Hold on. See, Chris gave you, the the dissertation. I'm gonna give you a cut and dry. Number one, that talent has aged out for the most part, right?
That's a different conversation, and you're not wrong.
You missed the window. That's number one, and number two is this. And we used to talk about this, when the podcast was in its normal. I mean, its original state, way back when. I am tired of the word development. You know why? Because the NFL doesn't allow it anymore. That's gone. That is dead in the water. If you don't win right away, you're cooked. The development word, that's just got to get out of here. I need players that are proven. I need dudes that are going to come in and their development process is honestly like, oh, I'm playing 18 weeks of football instead of 12. Oh, okay. Like it takes me a little bit longer, to get my body together in the off season because I'm playing longer. Not like, oh yeah, we got to take you through the X's and O's of how to build you as a player. That shit is over with. If we bring in another developmental project at any position, I'm going to jump out of a window because I can't take the shit. I cannot take it. We're the only franchise where development is based on how good this team can be, not based on like, look, this dude is a solid player straight up. Yeah, he's a rookie, but we can depend on him. We rarely come in to a season with that type of shit because the first thing they're going to say is, look, these guys got to develop, and no, man, fuck that, bro. I'm done with that. I'm done planting flowers and putting water on them and watching them grow into whatever plant they're going to be. I'm done with that shit. Bring me some proven players out of college. Bring me those second tier veterans out of free agency. Put that shit together and let's go play football. I don't want no more projects.
Now, I will say I can't defend his record.
He can't defend his record.
No one can. Nobody can. So if he does end up getting fired, so be it. But I am telling you, I like the way he drafts. I like the way he finds talent. That's me. That's a personal thing.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
There's certain players that you can go back to and be like, that was a great pick. But on a consistent basis, if there was a way to run every draft pick he's had from the moment he stepped in to this current year, and you just ran them down, Pat, you wouldn't like what you saw, bro. We have so many, and Chris has said this many a times, we have so many draft day dudes that don't make the final three yearly. That's not good. To covet the picks the way you do, and to have so many dudes not even make your active roster yearly, that's not good. This is yearly. This ain't like one-offs. This is every year, dog.
And Pat, we talked about this too. We talked about him saying, "I love me some draft picks." We've talked about that, and even more so recently, within the last few years, those draft picks, those players that he's trading down for in the draft, constantly making sure that he's moving out of position when he can go ahead and just draft somebody that's a proven product. He's moving down and drafting guys that are ending up on other people's practice squads or ending up on other people's team by end of season. Jonah Lualu, he's the greatest example of that because we drafted him 7th round, which was somebody that he traded down for again in 2024. And then he ended up on the practice squad, went to the Raiders, and he's actually somebody who's starting now for the Raiders. And he's actually this is like, if I would be okay with the draft strategy if the draft strategy worked and he followed it, but he's not even following his own strategy while also choosing to go ahead and usurp everything else. This is the first time that he really went and got some top-notch talent in free agency in years.
Listen, bro, in the draft or the free agency, iron sharpens iron. So when you sell me on competition, I can't look at my, my depth chart that's going to come out in the beginning of the season and be like, who are these guys? Because these are the competition. Like, nah, bro. Iron sharpens iron. If you want to bring in somebody that's going to compete, then bring that guy in and be like, that's the number one guy. But your number two or your number three guy, we should know who the hell they are. Because they've already proven themselves at some level, not some, oh yeah, they got a great RAS score, or, we've seen them in one clip or one highlight from this one thing. And that's why, like, we're done with that, man. This franchise has been selling us absolute nonsense for years, bro. Like, and we just got to find a way to no longer cope with that. That doesn't mean turn your back on the team. That doesn't mean like, I'm not renewing my season tickets. Do what you want. But Clyde is just tired of, like, whatever they put out there, I'm not going to go for that anymore. I just can't, bro. I can't. You know what I mean? I'm just not able to do that anymore. Like, trying out Phillip Rivers after 5 years when the man wanted to come back in 2021, and we told him, nah, thank you for your services, Phil, and he could probably still throw the ball decently. It's laughable that 5 years later he's now the idea that could save the season. Complete insanity. Asinine ridiculousness. I can't do those type of drugs, man. Those are not even fun drugs. Those are the drugs that might take me out. I can't do those type of drugs. So no way was I about to be like, oh yeah, this is the plan. It's the same thing with the draft each and every year, bro. I don't care, but the RAS score thing has scarred me. I don't even want to hear RAS scores for anybody we draft. I don't care what I don't care.
I can't eat raspberries because it has rads with it. Like, it's just like, I can't
raspberries,
do it. Raspberry, strawberry. It has RAS in it. I can't do it. It's just
ras.
like raz. Just like
Ras,
Jesus.
I don't want to hear
Ras clot. Like ras.
No, don't say no. I can't. I cannot do it. I do not care about
your
your relative
clot.
athletic score. I can care less. And that's just where we are, Pat. And we have to live in the
I understand it. I swear anybody, I'm just telling you what I think. And I'm not saying that you're wrong for thinking that way, because you're not. I guess I don't know. I can't explain it.
We have disqualified so much talent, I think, in the process of drafting. Not saying I can draft better than anybody that was doing this, but we have disqualified so much talent in drafts because of the background. It's time to kick rocks with that too. If the person hasn't, and I'm saying this lightly, so you guys please take this lightly. It's one day before New Year's. What I'm trying to say, if this person has not harmed somebody or done something that's completely diabolical to somebody, I don't care if they smoke weed. I don't care if they ran a red light. I don't care if they got a DUI. I don't care. Can they play football? If they have not been convicted for murder or something that's just absolutely ridiculous, in no way should they touch a football field. What is a character guy? I don't care anymore. This is the Colts way. That doesn't even mean anything. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to any, but what does it mean when it correlates to whether or not we are winning or we're a good team? Nothing. Being good Colts guys have gotten us nothing in a decade. And yet we've seen guys go elsewhere and play and look pretty damn good. You remember that guy, Isaiah Rodgers? He's pretty damn good. We had him. Yeah, he did some diabology. He bet on Jonathan Taylor or something. Maybe. You know what? Sit your ass down a little bit. You'll think about it.
I didn't agree with that.
Smack your wrist. We'll see you next season. You're suspended for the rest of the season.
I didn't agree with that one.
Show up in the spring. AD Mitchell, you know what? You can't get your shit right. You fumbled. Guess what? Guess who else did that last year? Jonathan Taylor, and we love him. Are you JT yet? Absolutely not. Will you ever be JT? We don't know. Slap on the wrist, sit your ass down, get your head out your ass. You'll be back again. You don't just get rid of dudes, bro. They ain't
I
kill
agree
nobody.
with you there.
Shit's retarded, man.
You're gonna get the NFL is gonna get in the bed with the devil. You better expect these guys to sin.
Gambling is, come on, dog. Like what?
Yeah, I totally disagree.
It's ridiculous,
with that
man.
one.
And I'm just
And
over
now
it.
he's a Super Bowl champion.
I'm just looks like he can still play some decent football. So it's just like we have to get football players, man. Damn all the other stuff. Damn all look, man. Again, everybody's not gonna have a squeaky clean record. It's just not gonna be a real thing. But if they have not done the worst things possible, bring them in, ask them the tough questions. They answer them, the right way, and they can play football. Guess what? Here's a helmet. They'll show you where your locker is. Get out there and perform. Because you gotta do something different, bro.
I think, and I mean, I can't, like, I'm not gonna say like community, because like I said, I understand like what's been done in the community, and I think Halen's done a fantastic job with everything, with kicking the stigma and all that. But when I say this, I don't mean to sound facetious, but it is what it is. No more of this Boy Scout shit. Like, no more of this, like, you can only qualify to be signed by the Colts if you've done 3,000 hours of community service. Like, the fact that you pass on guys because of the fact that you believe that they don't fit a certain type of culture, and yet we have a culture that dictates that as long as you show up to those engagements and you do those things, whatever you do on the field, be damned. Because like I said, you gave up on A.D. Mitchell probably too soon. And then you see, and like I said, I like Michael Pittman, but the man couldn't separate himself from anybody for the rest of the season. And our wide receivers were stuck to like glue for the rest of the time. Like, and I don't want to keep on hearing about people like Ashton Doolin. He's reliable in 3 games a year. That is fantastic. But outside of that, this man doesn't even have 1,000 yards receiving for his entire career. And he's been here longer than DeForest Buckner. Like, like the fact that we are in a place right now where we just keep on trying to champion some of these guys who have just been on the roster, who have just been taking up roster spots, means that there's a time for a change. This isn't a competitive roster. You have guys that are starting. You have guys that are maybe fringe guys. And then after that, it's a big drop-off. Because everybody wanted Tyler Warren, but Tyler Warren was the best possible choice when you know for a fact that you didn't do anything with the tight end room for years. And I like Drew Ogletree. Drew Ogletree's my guy, but that room wasn't competitive.
Look here, dude. I'm going to keep it a buck. Because here's what's really scary about this. And this is kind of to the fans. This is not a shot at them, but I'm going to just keep it a G. When Anthony first got here, look, bro. People loved him. He was stopping at stoplights, helping people with their car. He was showing up with an injury to some lady's. I think it was her boyfriend's birthday. He pulled up to that. He was coming to kids' schools, all type of shit, and everybody loved him. When everybody made that decision that he couldn't play football, nobody cared about his community service. They threw him to the dogs, bro. And I'm not making fun of that or making light of that because I hate that part of it. But that's the truth. No one ever gave a damn anymore about what he was to the community. And thus all of those things have kind of faded to the darkness because he's not producing on the field. And that's just how people are. So stop building a culture based on how good of a person you are, when in all actuality, you might not be a good football player. And that's what you're getting paid to do. I need football players, man.
You're not wrong.
Look here. Hey, man,
wrong.
I'm getting dark and sinister here. Lawrence Taylor did a lot of coke, drunk a lot of beers, and did a whole bunch of other shit, but they love that guy today still because he was a killer on the football field. That's just how real life is.
I'm just gonna say it right now. There was a lot of examples you could have used.
Don't matter.
LT is the craziest.
I went for the darkest one. LT was an absolute savage, bro, for what he did in his life, and they love him to this day because he tackled human beings and created sack fumbles and won Super Bowls. Now, do I want my guys to be, that dark? Probably not. But I'm just saying, man, we're not paying for entertainment that has to do with watching your favorite choir. Like Kirk Franklin is not out there directing the squad. We're not God's property here. We are the Indianapolis Colts football team, and right now we're not a football team. So,
No, we're a football team. We're just not a football team that we're a football team that has a bunch of talent with zero resilience.
Okay, I like that. I do like that. The one thing I will caveat to that is who leads, who's responsible for that? Where does it start? You have to point somewhere, right? And I hate to point fingers, but we've seen so many things, kind of just happen over the last 2 years in the organization, from all the allegations Pat was talking about McAfee last year to the collapse this year. And it's probably a whole gauntlet of things that led to that we don't know. But what I'm getting at is, who is the leader of that? That person has not been very believable, right? He comes out and he says things, and then you hear those things and you're like, is this just for today, or should I believe this going forward? And then, it was just for that day, because now he's changed his tune again. Like, bro, you can't have a person leading you like that. I'm sorry for all the things that Shane Steichen is when it comes to him being a head coach. He's missing a lot of that to make him a successful head coach.
Okay. And to that, I'll say, okay,
500 is his record, right?
I understand that. Okay, but then let's go ahead. Let's take it a step further. Pat, close your ears. No, because if we're going to talk about that, guess what? If we want to talk about with Shane, I get that 100%. This culture thing was non-existent before Shane got here. And who was the person who was here before Shane got here when the culture was the exact same?
Yeah,
I could see if Shane was the coach for as long as Ballard was the coach, because then you have the means to be able to say that. Shane's only been here for 3 years, and we're going on 9 years of this thing, and we got to call a spade on that, because we're not going to do that. For Shane to be a different coach, there's no way that we've continued to draft and acquire players the same way during his tenure and before his tenure, and we're still getting the exact same results.
I mean, but that's, again, this is not to take any lightness off of what you're saying. But for the 40 years that we've been in Indianapolis, this team has never been like, we've never had a Pittsburgh Steelers mentality. You know what I'm saying? We've never been that. We've been a finesse squad. You could probably go to a handful of seasons where the team was gritty, the Jim Harbaugh years or some shit like that. But we did a lot of finesse shit. Always a bend but don't break defense. You know what I mean? We want to beat you with our offense and in hopes that our defense can do enough to win the game type shit. Like, it's time for a hard reset, right? A hard reset where we're like, we're going to build a brand new foundation from the ground up, where we're going to instill toughness. We're going to have a mentality around here. We're going to say it's the Colts way or the culture, but it's going to actually mean something, right? And it's not just us falling in love with the players we got because they're lovable guys. And yeah, they make a few plays on the field. Like, that's what this era of football has been. We love the guys for who they are. You know what I mean? They're great with the community. You can have access to them in certain places and this, that, and the other. They do make some plays on the field. We've had plenty of Pro Bowlers doing that Ballard era, but that has not translated to wins. And there's a major problem there. And we have not been good enough to overcome that this go round. There's no Peyton Manning running the thing. There's no Andrew Luck running the thing. And that's when you see what your team is truly about. So this brand new GM, whoever he is, has to institute not even a brand new culture, but a brand new foundation of what the Indianapolis Colts are going to be. Like, you have to do that, bro. But that has to happen.
And I get that, but you know what? But here, I'm going to say it like this, right? Because the thing is, we knew, and like I said, for anybody who still deals with some PTSD from Luck, I'm sorry, but Luck's first 3 years wasn't a team that was winning because, like, that was just a team that was chock full of talent.
Shit. It was pure shit.
There was some grit with it, but you want to know what, like, the biggest difference with that was, especially starting off, you had Bruce Arians. And Bruce Arians, we know, has always had that mentality where he's always been that gritty coach, been able to go ahead and do that. So the thing is, Bruce Arians, during that time, he had that culture that way. But the problem was that rather than, and like I said, I appreciate what Chuck did in the fact that he was able to overcome everything that he overcame. But when you chose to hold on to Pagano and you let Bruce Arians go, you made a mistake because you saw what was able to be done with that, and you saw what he was able to do. Maybe it was because of the fact that pighead Grigson, he had Irsay's ear, and he was just like, oh no, we probably just got to let Arians go because Arians is that coach. Arians, like for everything, like everybody just like, oh yeah, Dan Campbell, for whatever he was, fantastic. Bruce Arians was Dan Campbell before Dan Campbell was Dan Campbell.
Yeah, he just wasn't biting kneecaps and shit. But Bruce underneath the Kango is a demon.
Yes,
like
and that's
underneath the Kango, he's a demon, bro.
And that was and the thing is, Bruce Arians was that culture because, like I said, for those you could say he was the one who got the best out of Luck during that time because even in the short time he was there, like that's what it was. But the thing is, guys like that aren't the people that are looked at in this organization because those types of head coaches, they're very vocal about what they want. They're going to tell you exactly what's going on, and you're not allowed to go ahead and differ anything from the GM. It's very similar to how we like right now, and I hate to say it, we like the way that we go when it comes to head coaches and the GM relationship. There's a lot of similarities to how Jerry Jones runs his shit with his head coaches. Like you're just going to get a head coach that's just going to have to coach the team around because he's going to do things the way that he wants to.
But I think though, like understanding Jim's relationship with his father, old Rob, he wanted to be night and day different, and I think that he was. And now I think that now we have the third generation of ownership now in the Irsay family with Carly. We'll just have to determine who she is because for all the things that Jim learned from Bob, he said one of the main things he didn't want to be that was like his father was like I hate to use the word, but like rude and crude to people. Like Bob was an asshole. Like I mean, rest his soul. But he ran his organization just like that. Like, look, man, this is what I said. This is how it go. Get your ass out of here if you don't like it. Like Jim was a people's person. That's why so many people loved him. That's why after players left, they were still part of the horseshoe and still felt like they were still on the team and all that. And that was his legacy. And I'm never going to, knock a man for that. But that's probably why we had what we had during that time. Now it's Carly's turn and we'll see. And she says she's not like her father. And, she's probably not like her grandpa either. But I think she's probably more like her grandpa than she's giving out. One thing that I wanted to read that apparently she said prior to the Jags game, she mentioned that she was talking about change. And she said, most people don't like change. I think there's something wrong with me, but I feel like it is the one thing that is a guarantee. I think it can be exciting. Now, again, Shane Steichen was asked, had he had any conversations with her leading up to this week about his job security. He said, no, we only talked about, the normal things, post-game stuff like we always do, blah, 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 blah. But some has said he has seemed assured of himself because he's, messing around in practice and throwing the football with Phillip Rivers last week and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. He's on a 6-year deal, yada, yada, yada. I don't know. But what I wanted to bring up before we get to some of the comments is Neighborhood. Shout out to Neighborhood on the X and being in all the spaces. He brought up a good point that next year, after the year, is the year that Chris Ballard's contract expires. And then there's a handful of players that are in that aged out talent that we just talked about that expire as well. Grover, Buck, Kenny, I think JT, Michael Pittman, if we was to bring them back, Quentin Nelson. So there's a lot of like weird feelings, and I'm kind of like in the middle. I don't know, where it's like all this shit could be ran right back. Daniel Jones could look like he's ready to go by April, May, which will set him up just fine for, the offseason. I'm sorry, for the offseason work, and then being ready to start comes September. And we could see 85% of this team again next year. And that could be the story, just to be able to be a bookend, if you will, if it doesn't pan out. Because that's way different than Carly extending Ballard. That's way different than Carly re-signing all those guys I just mentioned and saying, look, this is the team that we're going to keep running with because we just feel like it can happen. So there's a side of me that don't think that maybe nothing happens, even though I'm very passionate about wanting everything to happen. And I think I'll open that floor for the next part of this pod. Like, how do we feel if nothing happens on Black Monday? Next week, everybody keeps their job. And we hear Ballard talk soon after the season, and he says the injury thing and blah, 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 blah. And we plan on doing this and blah, 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 blah. And we see the whole same team come May, getting ready for preseason OTAs. How do we feel about that? Pat, you haven't said shit. So,
well, you guys are on a soapbox, so I'm going to let you have it.
So, yeah. So now,
okay. All right. So 85% of the team that started off 8-1. I'm okay with that. Now figure out the second part of the season. Can they figure out the second part of the season?
What does that mean?
Well, they fucked it up this year.
There's no figuring out the second part of the season.
You're gonna have to figure something out. You can't run it back like that.
You don't get 8 W's and then be like, okay. Exactly. Now I'm gonna put you in the master class now. And I figured like, nah, man, like you see consistent things going on the whole year that gets you prepared for the second half of the season. And I think that starts with the head coach. And he showed that he had some issues going into that. And I think that he did not change his stuff. But I mean, you would be okay, is what you're saying. You'd be fine with that. You don't even believe what you're about to say. You don't. Yeah, bro, you right.
I'm trying to say it correctly.
No, it's yes or no. It's nothing.
Well, it depends on which 85% it is.
Oh God, come on, Pat.
Wait,
what up? 85% is 85%. What are you talking about?
All right, who's the 15% that's gone? That's being replaced.
You're making room for your rooks. So, like Samson's gone. Dudes contracts that are leaving this year. Samson, Kwity Paye, Tyquan Lewis. Who else had a 1 year? Maybe Pratt. You know what I mean? Like those dudes are gonna go. Braden Smith, you're not gonna re-sign him. Stuff like that. But I'm talking about the big names. Like people keep saying, cut Michael Pittman, like so he's back, and cut Kenny Moore, he's back, and down a list. All right, well, Kenny Moore's proven. For this guy not to follow our podcast, appreciate you tuning in, buddy. That's awesome. Yeah, this is recorded and everything, so we'll make sure to let everybody know you watch our stuff. Thanks, dude. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead, Pat.
Is this an inside thing I don't know about?
Nah, it's not.
I still don't get notifications when you guys go to.
You just have fans that you didn't know they were really fans. They've been tuned in all 42 minutes, which is awesome. Because he's one of our 33 people that watch, apparently. So thanks, dog. We appreciate you. Anyway, go ahead, man.
But yeah, Pittman can still do the job. Kenny, I've seen some questionable things this year.
Yeah,
from Kenny.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, and that's heartbreaking. Yes, I don't know, man. I'm not the GM. I'm not the coach. I'm just going to sit here and bitch.
Yes or no?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Okay, thank you.
I like our guys.
You like? Oh wow! And there it went. Bullshit. That's the way you have been coping for years. All right, Chris. Where are you? 85% of the squad comes back. What do you think?
In terms of running it back?
Yeah.
Absolutely
not. Back with everybody.
Absolutely not.
Not everybody. 85%.
85%. Well, I told you the dudes that are the 1 year deal guys would be gone. Got to make room for your draft picks.
No, it's not even the 1 year deal guys. I'm really, really of the mindset right now that you know what you're going into for the next couple years. The problem is that now you will have maybe 10 of your key guys who are going to be going into their contract years next year. You're going to have a crap ton of cap space, but also you're going to have to make decisions. Right now, we don't even know if Buckner's going to be playing because he played one game after getting an overseas neck surgery done. Like, no. You have okay. So theoretically, if you run it back, you're not going to get another dime out of me.
You're going to quit on us?
I'm not. No, I'm not going to quit. I'm still going to be here every Tuesday and Thursday during the season, and every Tuesday during the off season. But what we're not going to do is you're not going to trot out this team that is staring down the barrel of another 8-9 season, and then tell me next year, nope, we're going to do things differently, and then do the same shit from February to May, and then try to convince me that this is going to be a product that is going to be better than it was the year before. Everything is fantastic when everything's going well, but it's when things start to break down that this team cannot get their heads out of their asses. And you're not going to convince me after 8 wins, 9 wins, 4 wins, 9 wins that I need to go ahead and I need to be all in and buy in and all chips in. No, fuck them chips. I'm going to save my chips until you put a competitive product out there.
What's that, Lego movie? Everything's awesome, man. Everything, we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Everything is awesome.
No, everything is cool when you're part of a team, but it has to be competitive.
All right, man. Let's get to some of these comments, bro. I got my ring light right here. I'm about to do the Seth and throw it through there for the.
I wish you listen here. Listen, and you know what? While we're on the subject, get rid of that shit too. Matter of fact, what did DNA say? What did DNA the battle rapper say? He's like, get Seth the fuck out of here because I'm over like this team is a joke right now. This team is a joke. Listen, somebody Thanos snap and reset this stuff because
look here, man.
What in the absolute hell? No.
From Seth to the collapse to the Phillip Rivers. that is the season that will be remembered for 2025. Seth going hard in the paint after being fan of the year. He's breaking Aaron Rodgers' back and shit. The epic collapse. And then Phillip Rivers after 5 years, bro. 5 of them.
When Seth sang at halftime of that preseason game,
it was nasty.
The writing was on the wall. Like it was just like, this isn't gonna go the way we want it.
It's not gonna work out for us, man. It's not. He had a choir out there. Listen. You know what? Hey, a word from our guy again.
Shoot! Oh my gosh! Shoot! Get going! Aggravates the stew out of me. Sheesh!
That's the perfect clip. Shoot! Dadgummit. Sheesh! This is the season.
Was that 8 different sound bites? Because that might just be like if it's 8 different ones, I think that breaks down all 8 of our losses perfectly.
I'm saving that forever. Okay, let's get to these comments. Sammy, put some of those comments up again. They were long-winded. Shout out to our special guy who's been posting his ass off. All right, so about next move, keep it situation. GM might be difficult outlook. So we're gonna have a show when we do some research. I got some names in mind where we'll talk about if this is even going to happen. So I guess we got to do it on Thursday. Well, no, Thursday's New Year's Day. I don't know if this is our last show of the week. Damn it!
And Thursday's my birthday.
It is your birthday.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, happy birthday!
Happy early birthday!
Yeah. And all the things.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we'll have a chance then before Black Monday to pick who we think would be a good head coach GM combination. I got some names in mind. But anyway, next slide. What's the next comment we got?
Not Mike McCarthy.
I like Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, actually. You can.
I need a winner, a proven winner. That's what I want. Hey, Sammy, roll some more. What we got?
Yo, get the fuck out of here.
All right, Carly definitely has to put her stamp on the team. Okay, yep. Fuming with the win and loss. Again, man, we're going to see. We're going to see if she decides to do that now or let everybody expire next year, and that's the perfect time. And then that way she could be like to the new GM, you're only missing 1 first-round pick, and that's this year. because we got through the one last year. Who knows? There could be a bigger plan in play, a bigger play, if you will. All right, what we got? Next slide. Steichen should be offensive coordinator and our head coach. Oh, yeah. Listen, you can go back to game after game after game where he has mismanaged the key moments of games. And I think that will be his indictment if he is let go. Carly got a lot of stuff in that notebook, and it probably is like, I wouldn't have threw the ball on 3rd and 1 and then turned around and ran it on 4th and 1. Makes no sense. Anyway, next slide. What we got? The Bears and Patriots rebuilt over the last few years. Now, see, this is the thing. I was saying this in the space earlier. I'm not setting myself up for some long-winded rebuild. I do not want a 4 or 5 year plan. I've seen the Texans do it quickly. We've seen the Lions do it relatively quickly. The Bears have done it relatively quickly. Like, what you mean? I mean, Ben Johnson hired this year. Last year they drafted Caleb.
Yeah, but
so
they
2
but
years.
they still
Foles?
yeah, but they still like those teams like the Lions. The Lions were bad for a while because you got to remember from Jim Caldwell. They had Matt Patricia, and then they had Dan Campbell. Like, it took them about 5 or 6 years, 5 to 7 years to get it together.
Snapshots in time, Chris. Like, when they hired the right people, it's what I'm talking about. Because the Lions have been traditionally bad since their fucking start. They're like 1934. They stunk since the beginning. 1944, whatever. I don't know.
They were okay like 3 times.
I don't know. World War II. Let's just call it that. They stunk since then. All right. Next slide. I'm just saying, like, these are just.
You gotta bring up World War II because it's my birthday Thursday.
Pagano,
that's right, okay, Pat. We know that you were born during Prohibition.
He's had the best jobs. Hey, listen, facts, and people talked about that when Big Jim passed away. I mean, to me, Chris Ballard has been like the son that maybe Jim never had or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think anybody else's record would be able to stand the test of time like his had when it comes to not being successful. No division titles, 1 playoff win, 2 appearances, under 500 record. Yeah, it's not good. Next slide. We had some longer ones in there. Yep. Drafting. Yes. Okay. Next slide. This should be the run on the guy that doesn't watch the podcast. All right, let's see what we got. What we got, Sammy? So with Ballard possibly done, what is the next move for the GM? No first round picks. See, here's the thing. Like, again, and we can hit this very quickly before we get into our sponsors and all that, and we'll wrap up. I don't think that the first round pick thing is that awful, right? It's because we're not in the lottery. Now, again, if this was done and you were the Raiders for the next 2 years, you were the Giants potentially for the next 2 years, the Titans or something like that, then this is a different conversation because you gave up the opportunity to take lottery guys. Like, being where we were going to be anyway, which is funny to say now after being out in front like we were, we've always been middle of the pack. That's 14 to 18, depending on 8 wins or 9. It's somewhere in there. I'm not saying a great player doesn't exist there, because of course they do. But I don't think that any one of those first round picks, if you're just going player for player, is going to be Sauce level right out the gate. Right? Yeah, I just don't think that. So if we got Sauce and he's healthy, then that's the first round pick for this year, period. And we've done it before. It was the Buckner thing. But people want to have hindsight now because Buckner now is long in the tooth and we haven't won with Buckner and all these other things. But when we got Buckner, that was a great addition. Probably still wanted Justin Herbert if it was a possibility. Trade it all, move up, and try to do that. That wasn't Chris Ballard's philosophy, so it is what it is. Let's not even, drudge that up. But to me, no first-round pick at 13 to 19 this season is Sauce level. Do y'all agree before we get into the sponsors, or disagree, or whatever?
Absolutely.
I don't know. We'll do whatever you want to. I'm not trying to coax you here. I just don't think
I'm right there with you on those first-round picks.
This year,
and I still think getting Sauce was the right move. You had a chance to get that kind of player, you go get it.
Because if we win this year and next year, you don't even think about those picks.
Exactly.
You only think about them when crazy shit happened. Like I think if all the stars aligned for everything negative that could have happened after Berlin, the only positive thing was, we got a bye week and we got a chance to kind of rest and we're looking great after the first 10 games. That was the only positive because everything that could have went bad happened. Every single thing. We hit on every single negative aspect of bad that could have happened to get us to where we are right now. And that's just unheard of. That's literally just unheard of, bro. Like, I don't know. This is one of the most epic collapses in all sports that I can remember to this day. But Chris, you have a job to do. Please, sir, if you would, go ahead and word to our sponsors and promote all things Cialis Voice anytime you want, and you're on.
By the way, I appreciate you, Teresa. For everybody who's in the chat realizing that I have to deal with Clyde's nonsense with all this. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, no, definitely coming from Cialis, Clyde's drug of choice. So yeah,
Gotta
so
take it
first
when you need
off, please bring up the handles. First off, Ayo. Second of all, yes, please bring up the handle. So yes, you can find me on Twitter. I'm gonna call it Twitter because I'm not calling it X. Sounds illicit. You can find me at CJ Colts fan. Fellas, tell them where they can find you as well.
You can find me at Coach Clyde on X.
At Colts Crow Eater on X.
Oh, boy, you sound exciting. And then what? Please bring up the podcast page as well. Yes, and make sure that you go to at SickPod Colts. That's where you'll be able to find clips of this and clips of previous episodes. That way you can go ahead and let Clyde know that he's not allowed to walk back things that he said in the past either. And what? So also, yeah, there you go. And by the way, quick shout out to everybody viewing, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all over the place. I see you. We want to make sure that we get to all comments everywhere. So yeah, we appreciate y'all absolutely. And then also, if you want to hear this episode, Pat,
we should be back on regular schedule.
All right, fantastic. So yes, so you can actually go ahead and hear the replay of this episode tomorrow on Z103.com. If you don't, you can actually go online to Z103.com, or you can download the app. It's in the Google Play Store or in the Apple Store. You can go and just download the app, Z103.com. You'll be able to hear the replay of this episode tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central. So you'll be able to listen through there. And then also make sure you're going to Mix 105. You can add them on Facebook. They have a lot of things going on for the holidays. They're extremely, extremely charitable radio stations. So make sure that you look out for them because they have a lot going on right now. And you can actually hear us in the UK on VIP One Lounge Extra at 5 o'clock p.m., whatever UK time subscribes to. You can go on there. And then please bring up Visit Indy. Yes, so when you scan that QR code, you'll be able to find out everything that's going on in the Indianapolis area. If you look at it now, you're looking to find somewhere to go for New Year's, you'll be able to do that through there as well. So make sure you scan that QR code, go to Visit Indy for everything that's going on in the Indianapolis area, whether it's restaurants, parties, whatever it is, lots of events, not just for adults, but for kids too. And please bring up the flyer for youth football camps. Yes, so youth football camps is back. We had the camp this past spring with Josh Downs in March and Kenny in May, and we're going to be right back. So we're actually going to have the first camp is going to be on May 17, 2026. The location is to be determined, but it will actually be hosted by both Josh Downs and Tyler Warren. So with that being said, you make sure that you go to youthfootballcamps.com, or you can actually just look it up. You should be able to pull it right up through one of the links on the pages, and then you'll be able to pre-register. Make sure that you get in and get registered quickly. These events fill up quickly. And not only that, but you'll be able to make sure that you get all the things. They have signed meet and greets. You get autographs. I mean, the guys, Josh Downs literally made sure that he was at every station with every kid at some point. So, yeah, definitely get the kids signed up as soon as possible. But other than that, I think that's about it.
Well, we're going to once again tell Pat happy birthday on the early side of things. How old are you turning, big fella? 62? What was it?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. Something like 62.
I'm going to go ahead and say we're not going to have a show on Thursday because it is the first of the year. And hopefully when we come to you on Tuesday night, there is some news. Something came out of, what happened on Black Monday or whatever, because this is the last time we'll talk to you for the regular season, because, our last game is on Sunday. So for the last time, right? One more time.
Coming back anymore the rest of this year.
Yeah, true that. For the last time, one more time. We'll have one more audible to get us out of here.
Shoot. Oh my gosh. Shoot. Get going. Aggravates the stew out of me. Jeez.
Followed by it's been a great season. It's been a great year. Not really a great season, but it's been a great year.
Yeah, great
podcasting
year.
with you guys. Bring in your New Year safe. Don't be crazy. Drink responsibly and all the things.
Give
I
me
wish I
30
could say
seconds.
See you in the playoffs, but I can't.
I need 30 seconds.
Why did you not go before I went? That's the wrap up.
Because it's my birthday week.
Okay. Oh God.
And
You
I
gonna
have
like
the
this guy
final word.
did? All right. Here
Might
you
as
go.
well. If it's
30
good enough for him, it's good enough for me.
30 seconds. You own.
But anyways,
What's that supposed to mean?
I want to give out a huge shout out to Maxwell Park Tequila. These guys have been riding with us all year. I believe they're going to come back and ride with us even better next year. If you haven't tried it, go to their website, find out where all their locations are they're in, or hell, you can even order it on the website itself. But if you enjoy tequila, you will absolutely love Maxwell Park. So that's it. That's all I got.
You definitely should have went before me. But anyway, like I said, it's been a great year podcasting. We've had a blast doing it. More to come in 26, bigger things to come in the start of next season when we get to there. But we got to get ourselves there. But anyhow, we appreciate you. Thank you. Like, subscribe, follow all the things, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. You know where we at, Sick Podcast, Anvil Show, at Sick Pod Colts on Twitter. You know what it is, man. So happy New Year and all the things. Sammy, take us home, please.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast and Bill Show on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.